Back in 2002, the Wonderswan Color was set to have a series of games by Sting's product team A. This project was called Department Heaven. In total, there are 3 episodes. 2 were released while the others set to debut in America on June 2nd. The gameplay between the games differs with each episode, much like how Final Fantasy X used turn-based, but Final Fantasy XII was real-time. Now it's time to review the first episode with
Riviera, the Promised Land.
Storyline. 1,000 years after the first Ragnarok, 2 grim angels, Leda and Ein, are off to sacrifice Riviera to activate the Retribution in order to stop the demons from overrunning Riviera, turning it into Utgard and causing a second Ragnarok, if such a thing was possible. You later make friends with the sprites of Riviera and set off all across the land to defeat the 4 Accursed. After all, if the sprites prevent the demons from creating another Utgard before Leda reaches Yggdrasil, then there would be no need to set off the Retribution to destroy Riviera. The characters, at least the ones on your team, are handled pretty well and are quite likable. This is probably because the game has a small amount of text in every scene, causing 1 or 2 of the characters to develop. This is due to how the plot is distributed. Rather than having a long exposition at certain points in the game, it's actually broken into small talk. In fact, that's what the majority of the game's plot is composed of. It's the characters walking along a path saying anything from observations to what's on the other character's mind. And to me, it's almost like an interactive manga. Almost every panel has text, but it's not long enough to be annoying. Any change with the characters was done very subtly. One rare thing about it is that your party is absolutely dominated by girls. In fact, your main character is the only male on the team. I can only think of one other game that's like that. This is because there's an affection system which decides 1 of 6 endings. Let's go look at your party, starting with the main character, Ein. He's idealistic, caring, and good-natured, and happens to be a grim angel. In order to receive his main weapon, the Diviner, he gave up his black wings. Conveniently, when he and his friend were heading out to activate the Retribution and destroy the world, he gets amnesia. Well, before you roll your eyes, thankfully it lasts only about a chapter. At first he was kind of annoying to play. He wasn't very good at the beginning. In fact, I just let him die and had Leda do all the work. His Diviner does hardly any damage in Chapter 2, and it's not until Chapter 3 when he gets really, really good. Fia and Lena are the first 2 people you meet in Riviera. Lena talks in first person and is pretty childish. Her ranged attacks are good until you get the other 2 characters. I really didn't use Lena a lot. She's not dead weight and her level 3 overskill attacks are extremely strong against some of the more tougher bosses. But when it came to regular enemies, I preferred Fia. Fia can heal your entire party with the spellbooks, use swords, and her main element is holy. Serene is probably the more realistic of the characters. She's a tough one, but she's a little on the quiet side. But she does open up from time to time. In battle, her main weapon is a scythe. She has the 2nd strongest physical attacks, and her scythe makes it easy to mow down enemies and get that S rank. Sierra is the exact opposite with the strongest magic. Her design is cute, but she's not really too important to the plot, other than she can open some magic seals. The villains are awful. 5 minutes in the game and anyone can tell you that Leda's gonna stab me in the back. Even Hector, just look at this dialogue. He's so pompous, and what's worse is that you explore the lead characters in every area, but the main villains appear in about 2 chapters. At times, I completely forgot about preventing the second coming of Ragnarok. It's great that we get to bond with the main characters on their difficult journey, but we can't neglect the main conflict. Gameplay. Riviera uses turn-based combat. On this screen you can either go ahead and select your formation or press start to look up more information on your enemy. The advice itself is good because it can help you decide on which team to bring out. Next, you need to pick 4 items. Anyone can use any of the 6 types of weapons, but only that character's top 3 has an overdrive level and will most likely cause a good deal of damage. The rest, the character will most likely chuck at the enemy and will either most likely A, miss, or B, give a tiny amount of damage. Now, each battle is ranked from S to C based on how quickly you finish and what type of attack you use to finish the last opponent. Very early in the game, you are introduced to the item level up system. In order to boost up your stats and gain skills, you need to level up your weapons and your items. 1 use, 1 point. In Chapter 2, you'll be introduced to one of the best features in the game, and that is Practice Mode. Here, you can fight battles without using up the items themselves while still gaining experience. It's also great for trying out your rare items and seeing how they work. Since, again, enemies aren't random, nor do they respawn, you only have to level up your weapons once and you're done. There is one feature that really bothered me about the battle system, and that is the 15 item slots. Now, here we are at the beginning of the 2nd chapter, and already I'm full. I have no room for my rapier, so I'll just get rid of my potions. I still don't have room for a bow. Adios to another potion. And oh my, first interactive thing on the map, and I have to get rid of it. In every single battle, I basically gave up on anything that the enemies dropped. Nearly all stat boosters, anything I couldn't get experience on, potions, and sometimes my weapons. It will drive you crazy every time you end the battle, and this ends part 1 of the review.